Hello and welcome to week 3 in your art history graphic design class. I will be working on grading your assignments that you posted from week 2, and I'll get those back to you as soon as I can, but those may take a little bit of time to go through, and there are quite a few of you in class. For week 3, what we will be covering is we'll be covering two different things. We'll be covering the classic literacy, which is chapter 2 in your book, and it's pages 29 to 43. I also found a supplemental website that I would like to use in this class. It's got some really great information, and I think that the part that is relevant to what we are looking at in chapter 2 is the section on symbolism. And we're going to talk about, I'll break these down a little bit in depth right now. I'm just looking at our course outline. And then I will post the lecture video also like I did last week, and hopefully we can get everybody connected and able to view the videos. And then once I go through, I'm going to cover the chapters a little bit more in depthly, and then these assignments will make more sense. So I'm going to jump into OneNote, and we can talk about the chapter and the assignment a little bit more. Okay, so hopefully after reading chapter 1, you kind of got an and some of the the other material, you kind of got an introduction into how this book is written, what some of the different things are that the book is focusing on. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. And how it relates to you. Most importantly, I think in order for you to have an interest in this class, you need to think about how this information that you're getting in this class relates to what you'll be doing as a designer. One of the things in the introductions that you saw is that all of your DAD majors, so you're going to be doing some type of design. Well, that just makes it really important that you understand the history of design so that you can use it in your work as well. So, classic literacy. Literacy can be defined as the ability to read, write, listen, comprehend, and speak a language. In modern references, literacy refers to reading and writing at a level adequate for communication. Communication is a key word when you're talking about literacy. And it also talks about a level that lets one understand and communicate abstract ideas. So abstract ideas, what are abstract ideas? Well, abstract ideas and communication and literacy are all key components to the classic literacy chapter. One of the things that you'll find that's very important in this chapter is that design literacy suggests specific things within a cultural. It suggests a specific understanding of the context of form and function. So how did this occur? How did this develop? For example, when somebody sees the McDonald's arches, they know that that's what McDonald's is. It's just a cultural thing. It's actually a cross-cultural thing. Many different cultures know that those golden arches, what they mean. That means a restaurant, it means fast food, it means McDonald's. Okay, so this is not something that is new. This cultural representation of different things is really how the alphabet and how a number of different things began. So what we're doing is we're taking a step back, way back, and we're looking at how did this develop? How did language and symbolism and culture and meaning, how did this all develop into some of the things that we currently look at now? And so it is really interesting to take a look back and see how this all developed. And that's really what the synopsis is, or what one of the main aspects that I want you to understand from chapter 2, what this really is how this cultural understanding and meaning of visual forms was developed. And there's more to it than just the visual forms. Also, in the book it talks about the materials that were used to create specific things had specific meaning. and it just seems to be very logical. If it's something that they want to last for a long time, it would be done in stone. It would be done by professionals. It would take a lot longer to do, but it would also last a lot longer. If it was done on parchment paper, maybe it's a little bit less formal. Maybe it's just, just think about the different ways and the different materials that were used and what those implications are and what context those materials were used for. So that's something to keep in mind. You can also think about, how that translates into what we see today. Is that, are materials less relevant? More relevant? Okay, so that's the basic concept that I want you to keep in mind the entire time that you're reading through the chapter is about those different ideas. Then, for your assignment, I want you to draw on that information and pull information from the book so that you can get a better understanding of really what you were reading. So the first part of your assignment, again, I want you to submit your notes to me. I want you to keep detailed notes of the chapters. You can do this in whatever format you would like. If you are using a Mac computer, you may have to save it as a PDF file so that I can view it. Part 2 is where we get into a little bit more of the information where I want to glean from you that you are able to understand what they're talking about in the book and able to apply it in a different context. So from this part 2, and I'm going to provide to you the PDF file and the OneNote file of this document that I'm going through in the lecture video. You can submit to me a Word document. You can recreate it as a Word document. You can submit it as a PDF file. You can submit it as a if you save it as a OneNote file, please, or if you work on it as a OneNote file, please submit it as a PDF file or a Windows Journal file. Either one works for me. But for part 2, work should be done all individually. It should be done should be all in your own words. You're going to be getting information from the text, but I still want you to, when you're describing and explaining things to me, it needs to be in your own words. If you include references outside of the book, if you use the book, then that's fine. You don't have to put it in there. But if you use any references, make sure that you put them in APA format. And this will be more relevant when we talk about some of the symbolism that I want you to look at. Okay, so your assignment is going to be based upon the key points in the chapter. One of the first key points is that graphic design becomes a component of literacy in the classical period. Explain what this statement means. What does it mean when it says a component of literacy? Okay, and I've talked about it a little bit, but I want you to tell me in your own words what this means. Okay, and you can take a look at what the definition is again of literacy, but I want you to tell me what this means to you. Okay, the second key point is that design literacy suggests the existence of a common cultural understanding of the meaning of visual forms as well as the materials and context of graphic information. Again, I talked about this a little bit before. For this example, I want you, excuse me, I want you to give me 5 examples from the textbook that shows me that you understand that design literacy and the cultural understanding and meanings of visual forms. So find 5 examples in the book and then explain why your examples support this statement written above. Okay, so why does it support